back to my channel. I haven't uploaded anything for about 14 days, I think it is now. So, you know, I was just having a bit of a break. It's been a bit mental at work and a bit mental at home, so it's nice to just take a bit of time off sometimes. I've learned a lot over this year, and I really just wanted to share some of the things that I've picked up and perhaps what I would have done and what I will do differently next year. So this is my 5 things I wish I knew about veg gardening before I started. Number 1, it's a pretty simple one. Grow what you enjoy eating. I grew these runner beans, and you know, they're okay, but I don't love them. And I've not got a lot of beds here. I've got five big beds, the greenhouse, and a few other bits around pots. So just grow the things that you really enjoy eating. You know, that's taken up a lot of space for a whole year for something I don't enjoy eating that much and that I've got a lot of. And you know, same behind me, I've got some radishes there, and that's taken up half a bed. And radishes, yeah, they're all right, but if I just put one row in, it wouldn't have taken up so much space and I wouldn't have that issue. So yeah, just grow what you enjoy eating. Grow stuff that you eat a lot at home. So, you know, we eat a lot of tomatoes, so I've got plenty of tomatoes. We eat spring onions, so I've got plenty of spring onions going. And we enjoy eating leeks, so I've made sure that I've got plenty of leeks to put in the ground for over winter. So that's literally it. Just make sure you grow what you like eating, and you won't have any issues there. You won't have the wastage. You won't have not utilised your space properly. So that's my number 1. My number 2, compost. Make sure you invest in some good quality compost. I started off this project just trying to get it done as quickly and cheaply as possible, and I have done that. Most of the stuff that I've got, I was either given or I've required, you know, off of people just throwing stuff away, etc. It was just the compost and the soil that I had to buy in. I decided to buy like the cheapest compost going. I got it, I think it's 4 for a tenner, but I've had nothing but trouble with it really. It's not very well draining. It was infested with compost gnats, and I'm still dealing with that problem. And it's the foundation of all your growing. All your plants are only going to do as well as they can in the conditions they've got. So make sure you give them the best start by giving them the best compost you can get. I've tried a few different composts, and I would add that if you're, you know, new to it, just buy like 1 bag of compost at a time and try a few and see which one's best for you. This one, Jack's Magic, seems to have done the best for me, so I've bought 4 bags of it, which I'm going to top all of my beds with at the end of the season, to give them, you know, give the soils and the nutrients, give the soil its best chance at next year. That's all I can do at this point. But yeah, don't skimp on the compost. Just get your best compost you can and just put it in, because once that's done, you're only topping it up each year. I've got 2 compost bins, so hopefully I can get a decent amount of compost going in them and I won't have to keep buying it. But for now, find the compost that's best for you and go with that. My number 3, reacting to pests. I haven't really experienced any of the pests, and believe me, there's a lot of them. This one that's affecting all of my beetroots is called leaf miner. It just makes the leaves sort of go paper thin. It's just, there's a fly that, I think it's a fly, that lays eggs on the leaves, and then you get these little grubs inside and they eat the leaf from the inside. And it's just completely destroyed this. I'm actually going to pull these out today because I don't think they're going to grow anymore. And they've really been demolished by these. Slugs is obviously, you know, the one you hear about the most, and you're probably most familiar with how to deal with, but there's a large variety of pests that you have to deal with. So do your research and find out really, you know, the best way and how to protect your crops from them. It's important, that one. So that's my number 3. My number 4, do your research on exactly what you're growing, what variety and what their needs are. I got a little bit carried away with the tomatoes, and I had this completely round with tomatoes, and it wasn't the best for them. When I started researching it, you know, I found that overcrowding them could be also like ridiculously damaging to the plants. I took a few out and put them elsewhere in the garden, and honestly, all of these have just come on amazingly. So yeah, don't get carried away. Don't overcrowd your plants. Research what the plant's needs are exactly. I've been guilty of planting stuff, sowing seeds and planting stuff out, and not actually researching what the plant's real needs are, how much light they need, how much water they need, etc. Pruning needs, all the rest of it. I've researched way too late, and then I found out down the line that I could have had a much better crop if I'd just done my research in the first place. So research is important. look it up. Before you're even going to put a seed in the ground, make sure you know exactly where that plant's going to go and whether or not it's going to do well there. Do that. I hope that helps. It definitely helped me. Number 5 is timings, and when you should sow stuff and when to plant stuff out. Do your research, work out when you're going to want things to go out. I have been sowing things right at the end of their dates that they're allowed to go out for, and it's really not paid off. I would fully recommend you look at sowing dates way ahead of when you're going to plant stuff out or sow seeds, and I'd look at them way ahead. I've squeezed a few crops out, but to get the best out of them, you want to sow sort of either beginning or sort of middle of their sow date, not right at the end, because you will struggle to get a crop out of it. It's just a really useful tip that I wish I had, put more effort into the planning right at the beginning, and I'd have had way more crops and way more exciting things happening right now. But it is my first year, and it's all a learning curve, and that's why I'm sharing the knowledge with you. But yeah, that's my number 5, and it's an important one. That's my 5 things that I wish I knew before I started. I hope you enjoyed the video and that you learned a few things, and maybe you can avoid some of the mistakes I've made. Anyway, thanks for watching.